Hi, I'm Olivia, and I will be sharing today with you the my topic for my persuasive research paper, which is a ban against plastic water bottles. My thesis for this is a ban against production and sale of plastic water bottles need to be put in place to help stop pollution, take care of the health of humans and animals, and save money. I picked these three main topics because I think they have the biggest impact. Um, there are three stakeholders that I think are the ones to note. The biggest one is the consumers themselves. Plastic water bottles have effects on the health and income of consumers. Um, Almost 50% of bottled water is tap water, so that's a lot of waste of money that people don't need to spend, but they can save and just use tap water. Also, with the health of the consumers, a lot of the bottled waters can have bacteria in them, and also it has a lot of chemicals in the plastic. Large companies are another stakeholder. They market three of the biggest companies are Nestle, Pepsi, and Coca-Cola. They have pretty much their companies of all the water bottle brands found in the US. They market their water as having health benefits, even though, as I said before, it's pretty much just tap water. Um, Also, if these companies are in smaller cities, um, they really exploit people because of the amount of money and resources they have. Um, so yeah, they just are ones that are the biggest part of this. And also ones that are not as big but still need to be noted is the FDA. They are supposed to regulate bottled water. They don't regulate the water. That's another company called the EDA, but they still have to regulate it, and they do not require companies to tell where they get their water from, which is a big deal because you want to know where you're getting your stuff. Um, the background on this, there's a lot of bans that are already in place. 90 college campuses have a ban of bottled water in place, and I think that's just a huge thing because I think that's one of the main places where people um, buy water when they don't need to. They have water bottle stations all over that you can fill up reusable water bottles. There's also cities that are banning it. One of the biggest things that happen in a city right now is San Francisco has a ban citywide, but the San Francisco airport this past year just placed a ban on water bottled water sales, so you cannot buy it in a vending machine in a store or in a restaurant anymore. But they do encourage people to bring in reusable water bottles empty, and then when they are waiting to go on the plane, go to their many hydration stations and fill it up there. There are companies that are helping the for the ban of plastic bottles. Hydro Flask is a reusable water bottle company, and one of their goals is to clean up parks and oceans. Another big company to note is Patagonia. They make clothes out of recycled plastic water bottles. And I will note more companies in my paper, but those are just two that are really showing what they are trying to do to help the um, lessen pollution with plastic water bottles. Three of my biggest arguments, like I stated before, is it's a danger to the environment. Um, some statistics I found that I thought were interesting was 38 billion water bottles, or 80% of bottles purchased, end up in landfills each year. Just landfills. That is so many bottles that could be recycled. Another thing that's really dangerous is 10% of plastic water bottles end up in the ocean. that's really bad too because there's animal lives in the ocean that it can compromise. The reason why this is so dangerous is because when these bottles are exposed to sunlight, they break down the plastic into its toxic chemicals, and that gets in the ground, that gets in the water. And the biggest thing to think about is if these toxins get in the water in the ocean, think of when then a fish gets those toxins in it, and then when you catch the fish, you end up eating it, and then you have all those toxins in your body, and that goes to the toll on life. Um, one 1/5 of bottles have chemicals used in manufacturing them. So there's chemicals all through these bottles, and it's so harmful to animal health and human health. The other big argument is cost. There's You can save so much money with this ban on um, water bottles. Think of every time you want to fill up a bottle in your faucet, it's $1.45. Think of if you had to pay that every time you fill it up. That's the average amount of what a water bottle costs. And with that, filling up your filling up something with tap water is so much cheaper because 0.9 cents of tap is a gallon is what tap water costs. Buying a water bottle, that's 560 times the amount that water costs. That's an outrageous amount of money to pay for water. That's like free. Um, and another thing that's I found really interesting is $11.8 billion were used to buy plastic water bottles just in 2012 alone. Just in that one year, that's crazy. The oppositions against this is just the conveniency of plastic water bottles. It's easier just to buy a new water bottle every time you need to have some water instead of like looking around for somewhere to fill up your reusable water bottle where some places might not even have somewhere to fill it up. And with it, you can just throw away water bottles instead of carrying around a huge not a huge, but a plastic or a reusable water bottle. With but against that, again, throwing away water bottles is really bad. They need to be recycled, and not every place has a recycling bin. Um, and it may be easier to buy a new water bottle every time, but it is not saving you any money. It's the cost that you have to think about, and it's just a waste. And then another opposition is the health. People think it's healthier for you because it's not the tap water, it's not groundwater, and that's how the large companies market it. They think there's health benefits, and there's really not, because again, most bottled water is just tap water, so you can get that out of your sink. I hope you found this video helpful in explaining my paper. These are what I have found right now for my research. Thank you for listening.